For my first creative critical reflection, I will be going over how my film challenges and embraces conventions of the horror genre and how it represents social groups. I will also be discussing the behind-the-scenes process for creating the film's monster. When making the film's monster, my two biggest inspirations were Michael Myers from the Halloween franchise and the Slender Man. I chose these two because I was very young back when Slender Man was around the peak of its popularity, and I knew more than enough about Michael Myers to keep my window locked at night. So I wanted to capture that childhood fear through my own monster. The shape similarities to the Slender Man are most noticeable in its behavior, such as its ability to teleport and how it stalks people who wander into its territory. Even the drawing on the tree is a direct reference to the old game Slender Man: The 8 Pages, where the player has to collect 8 drawings scattered throughout the forest while being hunted by Slender Man. Likewise for Michael Myers, the shape's movement and even its nickname are inspired by the Masked Killer. The shape in the short film even directly references the iconic head tilt in the dock scene. But that's where the similarities end, because one of the ways this monster challenges average horror movie tropes is that it isn't outright hostile like the two characters that inspired it. Instead, I wanted to give it a more uneasy atmosphere, like a play into the fear of the unknown, which is why it never physically attacks the hunter on screen, because when the monster doesn't immediately present itself by killing everyone in graphic displays of ultra-violence and gore, and instead builds up its presence to the characters and the audience, I find that to be much scarier. There's also bits of lore sprinkled in the film to add more questions and mystery to the shape. If you pause during the opening title sequence and take time to read the newspaper, especially in the director's cut, you'll find stories of encounters that, while creepy, never take any particularly dangerous turns. One article even all but confirms that the shape saved a boy's life from a kidnapper. So because it's not killing anyone, hopefully you'll be left wondering its true motives. For the monster's design, I picked clothes that would be considered normal attire for hunters to wear in the wilderness, like coats, jeans, boots, and gloves, so that they would contrast sharply with the gas mask. I chose a Cold War gas mask because I always felt that masks from that era carried a cold, emotionless aura that I thought really added to the shape's intimidation factor. I did a lot of research into small-budget horror flicks for this movie. For example, the film's lighting style was based loosely on the style in the movie Dark Was the Night. The film's lighting and eerie atmosphere were very memorable and served as the building basis for the style for my short film. Another is the Blair Witch Project, a film that also takes place in the woods, far away from civilization and involves supernatural elements. The guerrilla style of filmmaking could easily be compared to the found footage style of the Blair Witch. The film has some mild social commentaries, such as the son being the one that does hunting for his family while his parents are gone, and even though the shape's gender is never confirmed, it does have a somewhat masculine build, adding to its threatening appearance for people who may encounter it, if you consider scrawny to be intimidating.